Once you remove your self-talk, you can begin to remove your self-doubt. Ever found yourself paralyzed by that inner voice telling you that you're not good enough and that everyone will laugh at you and then you'll look like a fool? I used to talk myself out of things constantly. The more I tried to resist, the stronger that inner voice became. But eventually, I decided to sit down and hear her out. I began to ask her, why do you feel this way? Where is this coming from? Is this true? Show me how. I had to start running away from my fears. I had to start running away from that inner voice. So instead of running away, I decided to face it head on because the only way out is through it. And by doing so, I shattered a lot of mental chains that was holding me back. And today I am much more comfortable in my skin. I have much more confidence in who I am and just my overall being. That inner voice is not as loud as it used to be. She sometimes speaks to me, but I hear her out because sometimes if she makes me feel uncomfortable around certain people, I listen to her because now she is protecting me instead of criticizing me. And so you guys can do this too. And by working on your inner voice, you're much more likely to have more peace with yourself. You're much more likely to have more happiness in who you are. You're not jealous of other people. You're not as comparing yourself to people. You have much more health. Your overall well-being will be much more increased. Your relationships with your platonic friends, your relationships with more intimate partners, all of these things can become much more healthy once you start to change that inner doubt, the inner monologue that is always talking you out of things. If you guys continue to watch this video, I can definitely help you with doing that. So Ari wants to make her debut. She's been making a lot of noise. Welcome back to Shema Saba. If you're new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about self-care, self-development. I speak about friendships, relationships, and as well as hair care tips. So I do hope you guys do truly love it here. So today's video, we're going to discuss 5 transformations to help you remove negative self-talk. So let's understand the power of self-talk. Understand the power of self-talk is very crucial because it helps define our entire lives. It defines how we interact with people. It defines how we achieve success. It determines how we feel about ourselves and also affects our overall well-being.
I am worthy. I have value. But it's not because I'm sitting here. I had that value when I was 3, when I was 5, when I was 7, when I was 12. And for the young girls out there, you have it now. You just have to take the time to realize it and be patient with yourself as you do it because the process takes a lifetime.
And so this begins at a very early age. You could predict who a person is going to be or how they're going to be like when they're around the age of 7. And so a lot of times when we're young individuals, probably being taught to a certain type of way, and we internalize different things. Sometimes some people go through toxic households, and sometimes, when we're children, tend to take things personally. We're not thinking about, oh, what dad or mom can't spend time with me because they're busy. No, we would internalize this as, well, I'm not good enough for them, and so they're not going to be around me. That's where your first inner voice began to form and solidify around the age of 7. And so the brain likes to be comfortable. It doesn't like to change things. And so unless we really have to be very, very aware of our thoughts. And so life will just continue to happen to us and we're just living on autopilot. In previous examples, I say you're driving in a car and you get to your destination and you're not even aware of like all the steps you took to get to your destination. You're just thinking about, wait a minute, I got here so fast because the subconscious mind controls 95% of our reality. Our conscious mind only controls 5% of our reality. So luckily, we do have the power to rewrite these narratives. Every thought that we have can either nurture us or it can tear us down. And sometimes we think that we have the ability to control these things. No, a lot of the times our subconscious mind is listening. Even like when you're asleep at nighttime, the subconscious mind is still awake and it's still hearing different things that's going on while your conscious mind, you're just asleep. So when we are constantly uplifting ourselves. We are teaching ourselves that we can be able to overcome challenges, be more resilient, and we can cultivate a higher sense of self-worth and a higher sense of self-esteem. It's never too late to change, no matter how old you are. If you're 7 years old, 14 years old, 77, 97, it's never too late. Don't give up on yourself. Your brain is still rewirable. So now let's get into the different types of levels of self-talk. Understanding the levels of self-talk is important because it can help us move from seeing ourselves as unsure of ourselves to feel much more confident. First, we begin to notice that we are hard on ourselves. We begin to notice the internal monologue. We begin to notice this harsh criticism. I remember this one particular job that I had. I used to work as a product designer, but then I got hired as a product manager. And so I did not have any type of experience, any type of skills, but this was a startup company. And so for me, that was a very, very new environment. And I started to doubt my capabilities. I started to say, well, you're going to mess up. Of course, we're going to mess up. That's natural. Everyone's going to mess up. But my mindset is that once you mess up, you're going to look like a failure. Everyone's going to notice that you're not good enough. You're going to just be lower than everyone. That's just how my mindset was. So I began to just notice these type of things, notice mindset that I have. You become aware of this negative self-talk. So you begin to notice that this is the worst level because you begin to be aware of yourself and you start to realize that other people don't have this type of belief that I have. Let's go with my example when I was talking about me making a mistake. As I began to talk to other people, they themselves had gone through a similar situation I had gone through. Like they were offered different roles they had no idea about. Then you become to realize like, wow, these thoughts that I had, they're not true. So level 2 is recognize the need to change. So by me realizing I wasn't the only person in the world who's going through this situation, I realized that it's starting to affect me. And it's starting to affect the work that I'm putting out. So once I began to do that, I started to develop a plan. I started to tell myself in the midst of those things, when those feelings came up, I would rewrite them. I would start telling myself, I'm capable. I can do this. It took a lot of pressure off of me so that I can continue to be productive, because if we're not careful, we can be so caught up in our thoughts and we could ruminate about things. It was because of a fear I felt that I wasn't capable of handling the situation I was in. Level 3 is when you make a decision to change. Begin to say, okay, Shama, you are now a product manager. Act like you are one. I began to make the change. I began to shift my identity. I began to see myself as one. I started to carry myself as one. I started more research. I started looking up, increasing my skills. I started staying a little bit late after work so I can work on the things that may have took me a little more time to do. And then eventually I actually started to do pretty well in the job. The CEO started to congratulate me. He started to say good things about the work that I was doing. Now we're going to go into the solution. So once you begin your commitment, you're going to start doing weekly check-ins with yourself. So you're going to find a negative thought. When you find a negative thinking, things saying like, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, money is only for rich people, I'm too old to find love, I will always be a failure. Start journaling that. Start making a list of the different things that you feel about yourself. Not every single day, just do this on a weekly basis, just starting out. So the second thing you're going to do is that you're going to change this negativity into something more positive. So you can say these different things like, I am capable, I can achieve success, I am worthy of love, I deserve to be loved, I am healthy, I am wealthy. And you can say these different types of affirmations. Just write it down, the different things that you want. Or you can say these to yourself in the mirror whenever you feel down. You can say these things to yourself in the mirror. Or you can have them like on different type of sticky notes wherever you work at. Positive affirmations, thing that you see. You can create a visualization board. I normally use Pinterest. Well, if I see other people achieving it, I feel like I can achieve it. Because if you constantly feed your subconscious mind something that you want and you do it enough times, it's constantly flooding it, you will start to see little birds before landing. Just see different types of signs, and it's positive signs that are on alignment of what the things that you want to change. And so by you doing this, it begins to harden that into a fact. Another thing that I do is that I listen to affirmations. And so I use this particular app. It's called Text to Speech. I read my journal and I start to make the negative to positive. I began to write sentences and I began to script it, but I would write it in a certain way. And I felt that I wasn't good enough to be a product manager. So I began to say, I am thankful that I am a capable worker. I am happy that I'm successful in my job. So when I attach the emotions such as happy and thankful, and that sentence can't just stick in your mind, your body holds the emotions, and your mind holds the statements, the beliefs that you have. And so whenever you're trying to write affirmations, make sure that you include different types of emotions, the opposite of the emotion that you feel, like for example, fear. So you're confident about it. And it's much more quicker too if you just work on different types of affirmation. Now I want to talk to you guys about the daily check-ins. You can just like write down things that you are thankful for throughout the day, like 3 things that you're thankful for throughout the day. It puts out the energy of gratitude. Start to receive things for you to be thankful for, things that you are much more appreciative of. Once these negative thinking comes up, because writing this out, that's not gonna just do it. Take a deep breath and just start to say whatever the feeling that you're feeling doubt about whatever situation, it doesn't matter. The energy is what matters. So the thinking is telling you all these crazy scenarios gonna happen, and then it's making you feel in your body, it's making you feel very much doubtful, make you feel very worried. And so the opposite of that is just say, I'm confident. Don't say it one time. Say it over and over and over. As many times as you can so you feel your heart rate relax and you feel that negative voice calm down, or you don't hear that negative voice because you're talking over it. So your brain can't focus on 2 things at once. So you have to say those things to yourself, like repeat that throughout the day. At the end of the day, you're gonna have the evening check-ins. You're gonna think about all the things that you're grateful for, all the things that went well. Even if bad things happen, we're just now getting there. This is the beginning. This is at the tip of the iceberg. You're just gonna think about the positive things that has happened and think about how much you have improved your self-talk. Notice the effort you're willing to do to change these things. And by doing this, celebrate your successes, no matter how small it is. That reinforces much more self-positivity about yourself. It makes you feel like you are worthy, it makes you feel like you're deserving, and it makes you feel accomplished, or it makes you feel happy. So the next step is surround yourself with positivity. Everything that I say can work, but if your environment is contradicting all this work that you're doing, it is pointless. You may tell yourself that I'm this wonderful, incredible person, but you may live for the person that's telling you that you're nothing, you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, I'm unhappy with you. Or you're at a certain type of job and they keep putting you down, and they're not recognizing the work that you're doing, they're stealing your work, they're not recognizing your accomplishments. Because when you do this, it's just the same thing as whoever you hang out with the most, they are going to be who you're going to be, because your subconscious mind sees that. If you're around 4 dope fiends, you're going to be the 5th dope fiend. If you're around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke person. Because again, it goes back to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is going to see that, and it is going to make that become your reality. So it is very important to shift your environment. So if you're around negative people, if you're around people who contradict the things that you want, if you're around people who further put in the toxic, negative perspectives that you had, the negative self-talk that you had about yourself, if it's further continue to confirm that negative self-image, then you need to cut it off and you need to let it go, because all this hard work that you're trying to put in, you're trying to change, is going to be completely useless, and you're going to be very upset, because you're going to start to think that, oh no, all this stuff, it doesn't work. Affirmation, these different things, they don't work, but it actually does. It's just the people that you're around with, it's just your environment messing you up, and it's continuing to contradict that reality that you want for yourself. So spend more time with positive people. If your family members are toxic, you cannot choose your family, but you can choose your friend. So find friends that are much more uplifting. If they leave a healthy lifestyle that you want to have, if they are very encouraging, supportive type of individuals, surround yourself with people like that. If you want some type of fitness goal, be around people who have good fitness regimens. If you have low self-esteem, surround yourself with people who are very supportive and who are very encouraging. Don't try to be around people who are always laughing at other people, who's joking about other people, who's always trying to put their friends down, who's always in competition with other people. Choose differently. Cut out the bad people. So next is consume inspirational media. If you're listening to a whole lot of negative talk, degrading music about killing people, music about all types of crazy stuff, you're gonna have to cut that out. Listen to crazy, turn on music when you work out. You're gonna have to find different type of music. And I know it sounds so cliche and cringy, but it is true. Because I remember back when I was single, I used to listen to very, very degrading, certain type of hip hop music, and how that affected me at the gym. It made me feel like when I was around different type of men, I don't know. It's just like my weight. I just start to feel like uncomfortable, and I felt like, oh, I want to leave the gym. As I started to listen to different type of music, like much more calm music or Afrobeat music, and the way that they speak to the women or they speak about the women, which much more uplifting. Fear being around men as much, because I noticed there was like a shift in that by me listening to that type of music. I was much more confident in working out, and I felt much more better about myself and about my body when I was at the gym. It's interesting how music can affect you if you're not even aware of that. The environment, make sure like your living space is clean, make sure there's no clutter everywhere. When you're around a whole bunch of clutter and a lot of mess, it's like a representation of your mindset, make you be much more critical. But when you have like a clean space and open space, it allows you to just decompress and allows you just to think. The last solution is to be much more compassionate with yourself. So being kind to yourself is very, very, very critical in order to improve your negative self-talk. Because if you are constantly telling yourself like, girl, you a stupid bitch. Why you call yourself dumb, you call yourself stupid, you call yourself a B word all the time? It's because of how you again were raised. You maybe had like an overcritical mother who always criticized you, you made a mistake. And so you began to become aware of yourself, talking to yourself the same way. And so you begin to realize that you are in essence actually bullying yourself. So, but once you begin to stop doing that and you start sowing seeds of positivity, you start to treat yourself, talk to yourself as though you're a 5-year-old child. If you made a mistake, you're not going to scream at a 5-year child. I hope you won't. I hope you got some sense enough not to do that. You're not going to sit there and scream at a 5-year-old child and call her a B word or tell her that she's a failure or all this crazy stuff that you may do to yourself. So talk to yourself as though that you're this little innocent child. Say things like, I know that you messed up. It's okay. You can do that the next time. You'll get better next time. Or that I love you. Or that your mistakes are just opportunities for you to grow. So forgive yourself if you think about all the things that you've done in the past, all the things you may have talked yourself out of. Forgive yourself. It is okay. As long as you're aware of the things that you've done, living your life consistently doing the same thing, you're not aware of doing what you're doing, it's a very sad life to live. If you're here, I'm happy that you're here and you're on this journey to change the way that you think and trying to improve your self-thinking. Be your biggest supporter. Encourage yourself. Say things like, I am doing my best. I am worthy of support. I am capable of achieving my success. I am deserving of my success. I'm just as good as anyone else. I'm just as smart as anyone else. I'm just as powerful as anyone else. I am meant to be here. I matter. I count. You know, you have to do these different types of things. So by understanding these different strategies that I spoke to you guys with today, it can definitely help you transform your negative self-thinking and remove your self-doubt. So remember, change takes time, but with consistency and dedication, you can achieve remarkable results. So I want you guys to share your experiences and your success below in the comment section, different types of strategies that you guys have done to help you remove negative self-thinking that has also improved your self-talk, because I'm pretty sure it can be of use and help for everyone else, and including me too, because this is a journey. We are all here, we are all learning, we are all growing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, peace